I'd just like to say good morning to you all and introduce myself. My name's Jesson and I'm the Head of Department and Lead Midwife for Education here at Birmingham City University. And I'd like to extend a warm welcome to you all today. I know it's a very cold, blustery day, but there's still a warm welcome here for you. Today we've got this event for you, and it's a jointly provided conference with Birmingham City University and Our Angels charity, focusing on the really important topic of understanding baby loss and bereavement support. Our Angels charity has been operating as a support group since 2009 and became a registered charity in 2015. This has allowed them to do more support for bereaved parents and also help professionals in caring for bereaved parents, raising greater awareness of the subject of baby loss and bereavement care. So today's conference is an exciting combination of those three aspects. The programme of speakers here today combines information around best practice, examples of care provided with bereavement midwives, alongside the really important experiences and voices of parents following baby loss. So the speakers that you'll see in your programme have a wide range of knowledge, experience to share with you. And they include Michelle Densham, bereavement midwife at the Royal Bolton Hospital; Nicole Bowles, a mum who has set up a charity, Our Missing Piece; Nick Kerry, bereavement midwife at the North Lincolnshire and Gaul NHS Foundation Trust; Jessica Clasby-Monk, Leo's mum; Steph Wild, midwife at St Mary's Hospital Manchester and Bee's mum; Maxine Channon, mum to Imogen and Joshua and researcher and administrator with a charity; Dr Michelle Tolfrey, clinical psychologist and Orla's mum; and Chris Binney, the trustee of Our Angels and Henry's dad. You'll see from your programme that some of those names are changed, but we've got a very interesting and full day with you, very informative, and I'm sure that you'll take away a lot from today's event. Just some housekeeping information to share with you. The event runs until around 5 p.m. today, and there isn't a scheduled fire bell testing. So if the fire alarm does go off, we've got 2 fire exits here. There's one in the corner over there. There's one here, so we would obviously have to lift the screen up for you to exit that one, otherwise you're going to have to crawl on your hands and knees, and I don't think that's a good idea. Or out of the front building where you entered today. So let's hope that we're not disturbed with a fire alarm. We do have some breaks scheduled in, so the first one's around 10:30. That might be a little bit later because of the delayed start this morning, where coffee will be served just up the stairs on the right hand side as you go out here. We have a lunch break scheduled around 1 p.m, and then also some more coffee in the afternoon around 3:15, with the event closing around 5 p.m. today. Toilets are located if you go out of this room and turn left. Straight ahead of you is the library. You enter the library and turn left, and they're located there. There's also some toilets up the stairs, and follow the corridor directly round to the right hand side. So if you need any assistance at all, just let one of us know and we'll help. I'd urge you to take time to engage with our speakers and workshops. You probably saw when you came in there were a number of tables set up for you. There's going to be some very interesting workshops with the opportunity to engage with specialist midwives, support services, and learn some practical skills around providing good care for bereaved parents after loss. So I'd urge you to engage with those and take away that information back into practice. Speakers today are wearing green badges, so if you've got any questions for them, then just approach them, but you'll recognise them from having heard their talks today as well. The have been a number of student midwives helping with the session, and you'll get to perhaps see them later today as well. Just to sort of remind you, at the end of the day there is a feedback evaluation form at the back of your leaflet, and we would appreciate you providing your feedback and evaluation so that we can take that information forward for future events. So that's the sort of housekeeping session. I'm afraid you've got me for a little bit longer because I'm going to open up the first session. We're talking to you about the global landscape around stillbirth and baby loss. And it's to set the scene really around the important aspects of the extent of stillbirth and baby loss, and to contextualise it in England in comparison to other European countries, and just take stock of how significant an issue this is and how many people's lives this affects. So, in England, the maternity services are generally safe and generally provide safe and effective care for positive outcomes. And outcomes are improving. However, we can't ignore the fact that this is still a significant issue in the UK, England and the other 4 countries. We do know that stillbirth and neonatal mortality rates have fallen, and NHS improvements have taken place for those decreases in rates to happen. And we do know from CQC reports that women's experiences are telling us that there are some aspects of positive care happening. However, there are still huge steps to make. Approximately 3,100 babies are stillborn every year in England and Wales. And that's quite shocking when you look at the statistics and comparisons around some other countries across Europe. So, for example, there are more stillbirths per head in the UK than in Poland, Spain, Netherlands and in Lithuania. That may come as a surprise to you. For others, it may not. But I think that that's quite surprising. Stillbirth rates have fallen by just under 1.5% a year since 2000 in England and Wales. However, when we compare that to Poland and to the Netherlands, we can see that the percentage rate of fall isn't as good. So that's telling me that we've got to do better, we've got to do more. And if we look at the global league tables, we're actually in the bottom half globally. That's a huge message. If we compare higher income and lower income countries globally, to be 49 in the league table of 49 high income countries, 49th position for me is not good enough. This slide shows you where England and Wales, Scotland and Northern Ireland sit in terms of stillbirth rates across European countries. And I've just highlighted there at the bottom, we've got the Czech Republic with the lowest rate across European countries. So when you look at that, does that come as a surprise to you? To see how we fare as a country across other European, in comparison to other European countries? At the top is France, and equally that may come as a surprise to you when we see these countries as higher income countries. And if we focus in on the UK and look at stillbirth rates by main place of residence and look at regional rates, London is showing the highest regional rate. However, When we think about the demographic of London, there are a lot of high percentage population groups in London from other regions of the globe. So if you were to break down areas throughout London by sub-sections or sub-areas, you would find huge variances across the populations in different regions of London. But collectively, it has the highest stillbirth rate by region. You can see in the middle there the West Midlands at 4.9. So lots of variations. And of course, risk factors are hugely important. Approximately 10% of stillbirths will be related to congenital factors that are also associated with prematurity. Of course, we have to acknowledge that there will be a number of severe congenital anomalies that result in early miscarriage, or indeed an option to terminate a pregnancy in consultation with parents and professionals. However, we still have 10% that are related to congenital factors. Approximately 30% of stillbirths occur at term, between 37 completed weeks and 42 weeks. But I think within this there are some really important health promotion and public health messages and things that maybe need to be looked at in terms of education and starting off education and key messages in schools. Because if we look at women's age, and if we think under 20s and over 40s have a 39% higher risk factor in the under 20 group, then surely there's an important health promotion message out there to take into schools. Black and minority ethnic groups have a 50% higher risk. The importance of engagement with antenatal care, surveillance, and ensuring that there's equal access to care is immensely important. Pre-existing medical conditions such as diabetes, cardiac disease, increase risk. And poverty is hugely associated with stillbirth and infant loss. 57% higher rate. Obesity is a significant risk factor for loss and stillbirth. Gestational diabetes, we commonly associate diabetes and gestational diabetes with fetal macrosomia, but actually there can be an issue of intrauterine growth restriction and a lack of detection of risk factors that then link with stillbirth. Smoking, 47% higher in women who smoke. And again, we have to go back to education, antenatal care, referral and access to services to try and affect a change and make a difference, and inform women, support women and help them with programmes around smoking cessation to affect a change and a reduction. Poor attendance at antenatal appointments means that we limit the opportunity to detect and operationalise surveillance and then make a difference. Alcohol and substance misuse is another risk factor. And poor placental perfusion, intrauterine growth restriction, and having a care pathway of surveillance and intervention at the appropriate times. And some women